You know what time it is? It is time for us to flow with tarot. Okay, so listen, I've already pulled out a card, okay? Let me say this. If you are new here, this segment for the moment, this is not necessarily a reading. What I am doing is taking you through my process of how I like to connect with the cards before I just, start getting into using the card as a divination tool and using the cards for readings. I like to just connect with the cards again, okay? Because what we know about tarot is that each card, each suit, each image, it is layered. It is layered. It's layered from top to bottom, front to back, all around. And that's why I enjoy the use of tarot in my spiritual practice so much, because there is so much that you can get from it. Okay. Now, with that being said, even though this is not a reading, if you happen to take something from it that you can use, then by all means use it. Okay. So let's get started. All right. So, right off top, with the Knight of Swords, I feel like this card right now, we can look at this as a reminder for us to slow down. All right. Now, I know that this image, what we see in the image and then slow down, it doesn't seem to match. Okay. Because what we see with this image is this knight on this horse with this sword. This knight looks like she is handling business. She's coming through, ready or not. If you're in the way, you're getting ran over, which can be a good thing, okay? But we also have to remember that in that energy, we have to also have some balance. And sometimes that balance can come in the form of slowing down intentionally. And when I say slow down, I don't mean necessarily to not do anything or to not take action. It could mean that, but I don't mean that in this case. What I mean about slowing down is paying attention to paying attention to what's in front of you, being cognizant of when you're going to take action, how you're going to take action, and the results that are going to come from the action that you're taking. That approaching your action in that way doesn't leave room for chaos. There is a confidence that comes with taking action in that way. You can also still set boundaries when you're taking action in that way. And yes, I said earlier that this image, it looks like she is on the horse with the sword coming through, ready to cut down anything that is in her way. She means business, but you can still have that same intention and that same fire and that same focus with calm. It's like a quiet, I don't even want to say storm, but it kind of feels like a quiet storm in the best way possible. You're about your business, but you're quiet about it. There's a calmness about it. Yes, you're taking a lot of action. You may even be juggling a lot of things at this time. It may be the time for you to juggle a lot of things, but it's not juggle to exhaustion. It's not a juggle of things so you can to people or show people, hey, look, I'm busy. I'm doing all of these things. Look at what I'm doing. No, no, no. It is an intention, a fiery focus, because you know that in your focus is transformation, because you know that there is a metamorphosis happening. And in your action, it is aligned with that metamorphosis that you're allowing to take place in your life. This reminds me of a card that I pulled, an oracle. It's a dragon, a beautiful dragon oracle deck that I have. And I just felt like I wanted to pull a card from that deck. And I pulled the Black Dragon. And there were some other words on the card, but what really stood out to me was the words that said, allow yourself to go through the metamorphosis, celebrate the metamorphosis, celebrate the transformation. But you can do that in silence. And that's what I feel like the Knight of Swords is reminding us. A lot of times, our metamorphosis, our change, it does come through a silent confidence. And also, when I say silent, I am also not saying that you're not speaking of the results that you want. You're not speaking of the action steps that you're taking. As a matter of fact, that is what you're doing. Are you speaking it out to everyone around you? No, but you're speaking it to yourself. You're reminding yourself. You're having this conversation with yourself. Remember why you are doing this. Remember why you are taking this action. This is aligned with your metamorphosis. This is aligned with your elevation. This is aligned with your transformation. Remember why you're doing this. Sorry, I had to answer a message. Remember why you're doing this. That's a conversation that you're having with yourself. And it is a way that you are programming your subconscious with your own words to remind yourself, to remind your ego, this is why we're taking this action. It's almost as if, as you're speaking to yourself, you're cloaking yourself in the energy of your desire. You're cloaking yourself in the energy of your words. You're cloaking yourself. You're protecting yourself with your own words. You're protecting your energy with your own words. So that's what I feel with this Knight of Swords card. And we are almost to the end of the stack. That is exciting. But in the meantime, let me know what you feel about the Knight of Swords, what the first thing that came to your mind when I held it up to the screen. All right. Also, remember this, I am a tarot reader. Okay. So if you would like to have a tarot reading done by me, check out my website. I will leave the link to do that in the comment section for you. All right. Until next time, flow with tarot.